Let's talk about something pretty much every new leader faces. It's this classic problem, this paradox. How do you earn trust and lead a team when your people have way more experience than you do? Today, we're going to break that down.
I mean, really think about it. It's a question that can keep you up at night. You've got the title, sure. You're the manager, the team lead, but the people you're in charge of, they might have been doing this job since before you were in high school. So how on earth do you bridge that gap?
And you know who deals with this exact problem every single day in a high-stakes environment? The U.S. Army. This isn't just some corporate thought experiment for them. This is an operational reality where getting leadership right can literally be a matter of life and death.
And this gets us right to the heart of what researchers call the leadership paradox. At its core, it's a story we all kind of recognize, the rookie and the veteran. It's the dynamic that plays out between a brand new officer and their senior enlisted leader.
I mean, just look at this breakdown. It's a huge difference. On one side, you've got a second lieutenant. They're about 22, fresh out of training, maybe a year of experience tops, but they have the rank, right? The formal authority. On the other side, the senior NCO. This person's often 35 plus, with 15, maybe 20 years of hands-on experience. They are the expert, the master of the craft. So you've got this advanced beginner in charge of an absolute expert. Wild, right?
So how do you make that work? How do you crack that code? Well, a team of researchers decided to figure it out. They put together this study called the 2LT Readiness Playbook to uncover what really makes a new leader credible and effective in this kind of situation.
And to get to the bottom of this puzzle, they didn't just guess. Their entire study was built around a few really specific, really important questions, designed to see the problem from both sides of that relationship.
They wanted to know things like what specific actions, what behaviors actually show that a new leader is ready for the job. How do the veterans, the senior folks, actually see these new leaders? What are the things that build up trust in those first critical 6 months, and what are the things that just completely destroy it? And, maybe the biggest question of all, does it really matter where you came from?
And to get the answers, they went straight to the source. This wasn't a survey. It was a deep dive, qualitative study. The researchers sat down and had in-depth one-on-one interviews with dozens of new lieutenants and the senior NCOs they work with. They got the real, unfiltered stories from the people living it every day.
So, after all those conversations, what did they find? Well, it all boiled down to one single critical thing. The real currency of leadership isn't rank or title. It's trust. And the data was crystal clear about what creates that trust and what shatters it.
Let's start with the negative. The single fastest way to lose: disrespect. A new leader who comes in and dismisses the decades of experience sitting right in front of them, well, they've lost the game before it's even begun. It is the #1 trust killer, period.
So what about the other side of the coin? What actually builds trust? Well, the #1 thing, head and shoulders above everything else, was simply showing respect for the NCO's expertise. It's not about faking it till you make it. It's about being humble enough to acknowledge what you don't know. Right behind that was a genuine desire to learn. And of course, maintaining a calm, confident command presence.
Okay, now for one of the most fascinating findings from this whole study, because it really busts a myth that a lot of people believe. And that's the idea that a leader's pedigree, where they went to school, is the most important thing.
It's a simple question, right? Does your resume, your background, your fancy degree, does that matter more than what you actually do when you show up on day one?
You see, in the Army, new officers generally come from one of three places: the super prestigious West Point Military Academy, ROTC programs at regular colleges, or officer candidate school. And for a long time, there's been this assumption that one of those paths must produce better leaders.
But guess what? The research found that's not really the case. While each program has its own strengths, the thing that truly predicts a new leader's success isn't where they came from. It's their behavior from the moment they arrive.
To put it another way, the daily grind, the reps and sets of learning the job, making mistakes, and showing up every day to get better, that stuff is a way more powerful predictor of credibility than the name of the school on your diploma. Action beats pedigree. Every time.
Okay, so this is all great information, but what do you do with it? Well, the study didn't just diagnose the problem, it created a solution, a practical, actionable playbook for a new leader's first 180 days on the job.
And this playbook lays out a clear timeline of what to do. It starts on day one with a simple meeting to clarify who's in charge of what. Within the first month, you get that new leader a mentor, someone outside their direct chain of command, so they can get honest advice.
At 3 months, you actually sit down and review their progress on those key trust-building behaviors. And by 6 months, you're using simulations to help them practice making tough decisions. It's a real system for building leaders.
So if you boil it all down, it's a pretty simple 4-step framework that honestly, any organization could adapt. First, clarify the roles. Second, focus on building relationships. Third, make sure you provide real mentorship. And fourth, you got to track progress on the stuff that actually matters.
And it all comes back to this one powerful idea, which the study just sums up perfectly. Your rank, your title, that gives you authority, but your credibility, that only comes from your behavior.
So I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. Take a look at your own job, your own community. Where do you see people who have authority but zero credibility? And maybe more importantly, what are you doing every single day to build your own?